Okay, today I wanted to do a test concerning the battery consumption from the IC-705 and also want to see what current it drains when working CW or other modes on 10 watt. So what I'm using today is a pretty large battery pack, external battery pack, which are made of four 10,000 milliamp cells. It's Life 4 batteries. They can provide a lot of power if you want, and they have good recycling times. For the moment and for the first initial test, I hooked up the transceiver to a dummy load with a small cable, and I put it on 20 meters, and I turned off the Wi-Fi and I turned off the Bluetooth. In this case, I think consumption is less high. And as you can see down below the screen, on the moment, at this present moment, it's about 300 milliamps, 280 milliamps, taking about 3.5 to 3.7 watts of consumption in the state of reception. If you can hear, I don't know if you hear it, but the squelch is open, so there is reception. Although there's no antenna, there's no antenna gain. I turned up the volume and it will remain below 0.3 amps of power consumption. So that's the first test. Now, just for testing purposes, I will go into the menu and add some features. For example, if I say I want Bluetooth on, and let's check the consumption. It's 2.8, 280, 270 milliamps. Bluetooth will be on. And I see no really difference at this time. So that's a good news. Then we go into the Wi-Fi. I also put it on. And as you can see, being able to activate those two settings did not do much in terms of consumption of power, and well, that's a plus for me. I don't know if some devices will be connected, then there will be transmission over those both frequencies for the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth, so maybe then consumption will go up. But nevertheless, if they are turned on when you're in the field, it does not matter really if nothing is connected to those devices. But I can imagine if you have a small laptop or a tablet, you will be using it to control the rig or something like that. So for now, let's turn them back off. And leave the menu. Okay, first of all, I put also here down the meters so you can actually see. So the battery now has a output voltage. It was fully loaded, then it comes up a little bit more, but it has 13.3 volts of output. Consumption 3.5 watts at the present time. I have to say, and this is something I do have to mention for the test, as you can see here, the battery is detached, because from the moment you use an external power supply, the battery will be charging. And then of course I saw it when initially putting all the pieces together, that it was around 0.5 amps. So just to see what consumption we get when going in the field, and using it on an external power supply to use 10 watts in CW, for example, or in SSB, I like to have real figures. And of course you can do the check also, or we can redo the test only with the battery attached. But I just wanted to know for myself if I have my external battery, which is 10,000 amps, how long can it last when I'm in the field using 10 watts? That's the main reason for this small test. So I will now for a moment go to the menu and select my keyer, and just because I'm on a dummy load, it doesn't matter. I will use keyer or memory 1. It's my call sign, and it will be sent at approximately 25 words per minute. Let's put that down about 22, which is kind of normal if you're out in the field or something. And just watch the meter. So we are at 0.26. It's even go down. Let me see when I check the, yes, it's a 100% RF power out. So that's 10 watts at the moment. And I'm going to send, well, maybe I just go on 20 words per minute. And I will send my call sign and watch the consumption on the display. Okay, it kind of peaked on, let's say, about 2.5. Let me do that again. Maybe I do a CQ so we have a better reading. Well, it's obvious that it does not pass the 2.5 amps mark. It's kind of strange because when I was looking on the internet to buy me a wall socket that provides enough DC current to power up the 705, I noticed that the manual says it has to be at least 5 amps. It can be because they want to have overhead, and also they take into account, I think, charging the battery. But without a battery and just 10 watts on CW, we can see it's about 2.5 amps. Let me do that again one more time, calling CQ. Now, for some reason, I'm going to stop this, and I want to check because I'm not sure what my reading says about SWR. It should be perfect, of course, with the dummy load, but I'm not sure anymore because my power meter didn't go to 100%. So let me check this. And just go to RTTY and key up. Well, that seems pretty okay, and we are at 2.4 amps. SWR is 1:1, which I should expect. And we have a consumption of about 31.5 watts and about 2.5 amps. Keying down a full duty cycle. So that's about okay. Let's check 180 if it's something different. I will use RTTY just to have a 100% duty cycle. It's even low here. It's lower here. We got about 30 watts of consumption, 2.3 amps, which is very nice. Got the 10 watts out. SWR just moved a bit. It's just one little bar, as you maybe can notice. I don't know if it's clear on the camera. Let's do 40 meters, or 80, sorry. Go down a bit here, so go to the portion or CW somewhere. Okay, let's check. Oh, this is a lot more. This, oh no, this is cannot be true. Oh, of course, it's CW. That's my mistake, I'm sorry. Okay, let's do again. Yeah, 2.2 and 28. Still great. Getting 10 watts out. SWR is perfect, as we should expect from a dummy load. And then let's go up to 40 meters. Okay, let's put in RTTY. Okay, Yeah, it's quite consistent with 2.3 amps, about 30 watts of power consumption, which is great. Okay, we did 20, we can cover 10. So, okay. No, it's pretty consistent. I'm seeing around 30 watts and 2.3 amps of current drain. It's kind of nice. I'm curious about the higher bands though. So we did 14, let's go up to 18. Okay, a bit more here. 2.46 being 32 watts. I was expecting that. 21 is 15 meters. We go to ready, just a bit lower in the band like this. Okay, let's check. It's back down to 2.28 and 30 watts. So 18 was a bit more. Then we go up to 12 meters. No. Let's take 905. 2.4, 32 watts. It's about like the 17 meter band, I think. Then finally we arrive at 10 meters. I'm going to ready and then we key up. 2.45, excuse me, 2.35, 30 watts and a half. It's kind of okay. And then 6 meters. Ready. And then just we go a little bit down like this. Okay, let's check. It's less here, it's 2 amps and about 27 watts. That's nice. Still have my 10 watts out. Okay, just for the test, we can do also 2 and 70. Ready. CB portion, CW portion here. Okay, let's do that. It's higher here. It's 2.6 amps being or drawing about 34 watts of consumption here. So it's a bit higher, and my guess it could be a little more higher. I also see here, if you notice, we gone up also in reception. We gone up in consumption here, and it's because the preamps are selected. I guess that's the reason why we just have a little bit more of consumption while receiving. So here I go to ready and just take here this example. Yeah, also about the same on 2 meters. So it's pretty consistent. As we can round up this first test, I would say that on HF we do about 30 watts, sometimes a bit less, sometimes a bit more, but the average is 30 watts being 2.4 amps, which is great. 30 amps, you know, if I have a 10,000 milliamps here and I got 2.5, it's easy. I can do about 4 hours of 100% duty cycle, which is great. 4 hours. If you take that into account that you calling CQ or doing a SOTA or even running like an SMP in a contest or stuff like that, and just handing over some points, well, you can do with this battery pack, you can do maybe you can last for 6 to 7 hours before it's completely dead. And it has a battery management inside, which will protect it against lower voltage and stuff like that. So I'm pretty pleased. I know now if this battery pack is fully charged, it comes in, you know, a sandwich box. I made it myself. The battery management system is inside. I made it with the RC 60 amp plugs. So I even used this battery pack on a 100 watt radio, and it performed outstanding. Because you can take a lot of energy out of the pack, but for this small radio, You can take it all day in the field and it will last forever, at least for a whole day. So I'm very pleased. So this was my first test. I will now go into a long test, and I will come back to that later. But the long test will be a beacon in CW, 10 watts, that I will be sending, so I can put the pack somewhere and just see how long my battery will get along running a beacon every, say, 30 seconds on 10 watts on a real antenna, for example 30 meters, and then can look also to PSK reporter or something like that and just check my signals. That's the plan, but for now I have an idea where to go and how long the battery will last. Thank you for watching. If you find this interesting, always give me a thumbs up. If you have some questions about my test or remarks, you can put them down, and hope we'll meet again on YouTube. For now, it's almost New Year, so best wishes to everyone, good health, keep safe, and of course keep making radio. Bye bye. ON4VP.